Hello friends. Welcome to GrowFin's online learning module. In this session, we will understand business process outsourcing. We will also look at the need for outsourcing and advantages and disadvantages of BPO. This topic is part of CS Foundation course, Paper 1, Business Environment and Law within the chapter of Emerging Trends in Business. For detailed learning, you can enroll on our website www.growfin.co.in. Outsourcing is popularly associated with IT-enabled services and is also known as Business Process Outsourcing or BPO. Knowledge Process Outsourcing or KPO and Legal Process Outsourcing or LPO are some of the subsegments of Business Process Outsourcing industry. It is a subset of outsourcing that involves the contracting of the operations and responsibilities of specific business functions or processes to a third-party service provider. Originally, this was associated with manufacturing firms, such as Coca-Cola, that outsourced large segments of its supply chain. In the contemporary context, it is primarily used to refer to the outsourcing of business processing services to an outside firm, replacing in-house services with labor from an outside firm. BPO is typically categorized into back-office outsourcing, which includes internal business functions such as human resources or finance and accounting, and front-office outsourcing, which includes customer-related services such as contact center services. In other words, customer care account for the bulk of call center activities with 24/7 handling of inbound and outbound activities, which are customer surveys, payment follow-up and telemarketing. BPO that is contracted outside a company's country is called offshore outsourcing. BPO that is contracted to a company's neighboring or nearby country is called nearshore outsourcing. There has been a tremendous growth in the number and size of call centers which provide customer-oriented voice-based services to their clients. Nowadays, offshore software development is expanding all over the world. Previously, outsourcing decision was as simple as checking the budget, experience of the service provider and present in-house ability. India is the hottest spot of the IT outsourcing. The reasons are that India has supportive government policy, advanced technology, reliable communication facilities, huge skilled manpower with proficiency in English language. The need for outsourcing arises because of the following factors. Specialized performance. Through outsourcing, a firm can get various tasks done by specialized agencies. For example, it may entrust repair and maintenance of air conditioner and other electronic gadgets to a specialist firm. Getting better results, a firm can't have specialization in all activities, and so it can entrust some activities to outside agencies. For example, it may outsource advertising activity to an advertising agency for better result. Achieving economy, it is economical to outsource some activities rather than organizing a separate department for performing such activities. That is why, delivery of mail outsourced to courier agency by most of the firms. Ensuring smooth operations, outsourcing of routine activities enables the firm to conduct its operations smoothly. Expansion of business. A business firm can concentrate on its growth strategies and outsource subsidiary or non-core services to outside agencies which are specialists in their respective fields. There are various advantages of business process outsourcing as below. Flexible. An advantage of BPO is the way in which it helps to increase a company's flexibility. However, several sources have different ways in which they perceive organizational flexibility. Therefore, business process outsourcing enhances the flexibility of an organization in different ways. Most services provided by BPO vendors are offered on a fee-for-service basis. This can help a company becoming more flexible by transforming fixed into variable costs. A variable cost structure helps a company responding to changes in required capacity and does not require a company to invest in assets, thereby making the company more flexible. Outsourcing may provide a firm with increased flexibility in its resource management and may reduce response times to major environmental changes. Cost effectiveness. There is no doubt about this advantage of outsourcing to India. Outsourcing IT requirements save 30% of companies' expenditure. One can always resort to offshore software development to implement huge projects which may not be affordable to a company in the Western world. Offshoring not only takes care of the development costs but also slashes hiring costs, training costs, and cost of infrastructure to a great extent. Focus. Another way in which BPO contributes to a company's flexibility is that a company is able to focus on its core competencies, without being burdened by the demands of bureaucratic restraints. Key employees are herewith released from performing non-core or administrative processes and can invest more time and energy in building the firm's core businesses. The key lies in knowing which of the main value driven to focus on customer intimacy, product leadership, or operational excellence. Focusing more on one of these driven may help a company create a competitive edge. Speed. BPO increases organizational flexibility is by increasing the speed of business processes. Supply chain management with the effective use of supply chain partners. Business process outsourcing increases the speed of several business processes, such as the fragmentation of core process and non-core process in the case of a manufacturing company. Growth. A company can maintain growth goals while avoiding standard business bottlenecks. BPO therefore allows firms to retain their entrepreneurial speed and agility, which they would otherwise sacrifice in order to become efficient as they expanded. It avoids a premature internal transition from its informal entrepreneurial phase to a more bureaucratic mode of operation. Finally, flexibility is seen as a stage in the organizational life cycle. Skilled manpower. India has a large pool of technically skilled and English proficient population, thus making it favorable for making it an outsourcing partner. A company may be able to grow at a faster pace as it will be less constrained by large capital expenditures for people or equipment that may take years to amortize. Although the previous arguments favor the view that BPO increases the flexibility of organizations, management needs to be careful with the implementation of it as there are issues, which work against these advantages. Communication challenges and different standards. Sometimes in the business of outsourcing communication problems are usually comes. For the better communication service provider have to use email and instant messaging program because it's online communication. Sometimes telephone communication is the obstacle for this business. Time zone, a double-edged sword. Time zone would be creating disadvantages of outsourcing. Because vendors and customers are in the different countries, so in that case they have to understand the difference between time for online meetings and requirement between the customers and vendors. Loss of control. Because of some misunderstanding company will lose control on all over project, in that case company has to clear all things. That means transparency must have to in the business of outsourcing. Service provider wants to diversify and take more projects. To diversify the business of IT outsourcing, service providers wants to take more projects, and in that case sometimes they cannot give better preference for all projects. Customer is novice. Many a times, customer is novice, and in the effort to satisfy him, the project may go haywire. Other problems, which arise in practice, are, a failure to meet service levels, unclear contractual issues, changing requirements, and unforeseen charges, and a dependence on the BPO which reduces flexibility. Consequently, these challenges need to be considered before a company decides to engage in business process outsourcing. A further issue is that in many cases there is little that differentiates the BPO providers other than size. They often provide similar services, have similar geographic footprints, leverage similar technology stacks, and have similar quality improvement approaches. This brings us to the end of the session. Thank you for your time. We are sure that the inputs in this session have made your concepts of business process outsourcing clearer. For detailed learning, you can enroll on our website www.growfin.co.in. Please like and share our videos. Do not forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for receiving updates on our new videos. Happy learning!